You can belt your heart out because Wicked is extending its theatrical run with a series of sing-along screenings over the holidays.
Entertainment and lifestyle expert Josh McBride is here to talk about all this holiday special events. Josh, Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining us here on Morning on Merit again.
To you as well. Yeah, happy to be here. I mean, the phenomenon of Wicked has really taken over, huh?
Yeah, wildly successful. But before Wicked was even released, there was some drama between fans and the theaters where people had strong opinions on not singing while watching the film. Talk to us about this concept of adding sing-along screenings, and how fun is this for fans of the musical? And has this ever happened before in theaters?
Yeah, Joe, if you're asking me personally whether fans should sing along in theaters, I think it's ludicrous if they think that they should be allowed to sing since they're not in their own private living room, right? So the concept of sing-alongs, though, or these sing-along screenings, I should say, particularly for musicals like Wicked, is both really a nod to fan culture and a fun way to make the theater-going experience more interactive. Now, sing-along screenings have sort of been increasingly popular, guys, especially for iconic movies like Wicked, who know every word to Defying Gravity or Popular by heart, right? But these sing-along screenings really boil down to how disruptive or how respectful it might be. But if you remember back, Joe, you asked the question, if you remember way back when Rocky Horror Picture Show used to have these midnight sing-alongs. So this isn't really a new concept, as some movies even have like lyrics on the screen and special sing-alongs for this. They did it with Frozen. They did it with The Greatest Showman. It's not a new concept, but I think it can be a disruptive one to certain people. However, I will say one last thing on this. I know it's a long-winded answer. If you do remember, there was an interview with Cynthia Erivo where she said, "Oh, I'd love it. Sing along." And fans didn't take to that so well.
Yeah.
No, I think it's better when it's specifically you're going expecting people are going to be singing along. Otherwise, I want to hear them singing, right? Not me.
Yeah.
All right. When people go to sing these sing-alongs, when are they going to be happening? Do they need any special access to it, or how do they find out where they are and when they are?
Yeah, great question. Oddly enough, Lonnie, this is actually treated like a regular ticket and is pretty easy enough to find. So if you go to wickedmovie.com, there's a top option there that makes it super easy, that gives you sort of all of the available movies and then sing-along movies in specific theaters in your area. There you can select what you prefer. Now, as you saw there in the clip that you guys showed, this is more than a sing-along. It almost feels like a performance between people in the audience as well. They're moving in the aisles. It's not just a simple sing-along, Lonnie, anymore, it feels like.
Yeah, and I don't mind, Josh, I don't mind people singing, but when they get up and start dancing and stuff, that's distracting. And they have done that.
Yeah.
So that's an issue with me as a moviegoer, but I'm 52. I'm an old curmudgeon. Hey, we were given the new title for Wicked Part 2, now revealed as Wicked for Good. What can fans expect from the second installment coming out next year?
Yeah, they didn't say. They just announced that, Joe. You're such a you're all about breaking news. It's not called Wicked Part 2. They were calling that for a minute. Universal Pictures has renamed the sequel, like you said, to Wicked for Good. The movie, which chronicles the second act of the beloved Broadway show, will open in theaters next year, November 21st, 2025. Joe, I found it interesting that they did it around holiday time again. Perhaps they know that they'll do even better in theaters, that they'll make even more money. We know that these holiday movies do exceptionally well because people have that time off to be able to get into the theater. I thought it was an interesting opening date for them, but also doesn't give a lot of time to really do all that pre-production. Only really a year for Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande to necessarily have off.
Yeah, and Josh, I noticed there's more singing and dancing in the theaters, dependent on alcohol if they serve it in the concession stand. So, hey, Josh McBride, hey, thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure, man. Have a Merry Christmas.
Joe, the same in my house. The more alcohol there is, the same more dancing there is.
All right, be safe, man.